Everyone, and welcome back to A World with AI. We are living through one of the most incredible moments in the history of technology. For the last 10 years, the rules of the game in artificial intelligence have been pretty clear. Well, those rules are being completely rewritten as we speak. And what comes next? It's going to be a wild ride. So today, we're going to break down exactly what this new age of AI really means.
Okay, so let's dive right in. We are standing at a massive fork in the road. For about a decade, AI development followed this single, incredibly powerful logic that pretty much everyone in the field lived by.
And to really get where we're going, you first have to understand this one simple rule. It boiled down to this: scale is all you need. That's it. You want a smarter AI? You just throw more at it. More data, more GPUs, bigger models. It was like an assembly line for intelligence, predictable, industrial, and it worked for a while.
But that whole paradigm, it's over. We've slammed into what experts are calling the data wall. We've basically run out of high-quality human text on the internet to feed these things. So just making the models bigger isn't giving us those same jaw-dropping leaps in intelligence anymore. The age of brute force has officially ended.
And what that means is we're shifting from this era of industrial power to an era of, well, scientific finesse. And this changes everything. See, the age of scaling was all about engineering. But this new age of research, this is about real scientific discovery. It's about building AIs that don't just predict the next word, but can actually reason and, hopefully, align with our values.
So what does this new age of research actually look like under the hood? Because we're not just talking about a fresh coat of paint here. We're talking about a fundamentally different kind of engine.
And one of the biggest breakthroughs is that AI is finally learning how to think slow. The same way you do when you're working through a really tough problem. It's called System 2 reasoning. It's moving away from that fast, gut reaction, pattern matching thing AIs used to do. Now they can actually take a step back, plan, check their own work, and then give you an answer. It's a game changer. So here's a peek at how it actually works. Before an AI gives you an answer, it generates tons of internal thoughts, kind of like its own private scratch pad. It explores different possibilities, it argues with itself, and it fact-checks its own logic, all before we see a single word. This is the moment AI stops being just a really advanced parrot and starts becoming a true reasoning machine.
And this new ability to reason, it's putting the timeline for true artificial general intelligence on hyperspeed. Something a lot of people thought was decades away might be much, much closer. And as we start climbing that ladder of intelligence, the stakes get unbelievably high.
So it's absolutely crucial that we're clear on the terms here. AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, is what you could call our peer, an AI that's as smart as any human. But then there's ASI, Artificial Superintelligence. That's God mode. The intelligence gap between us and an ASI would be like the gap between us and an ant. Just think about that.
Which of course brings us to probably the single most important question of our entire century. As we build something that could become so much smarter than us, how on earth do we make sure it's on our side? How do we make sure we can actually control it? And this is what keeps researchers up at night. They call it the alignment problem. You've got risks like deceptive alignment, where an AI basically lies to us, pretending to be safe just so we'll let it out into the world. Or power seeking, which is just the logical impulse for any smart system to grab resources and make sure nobody can turn it off. And then there's reward hacking, where the AI finds a clever loophole to get a good grade without actually doing what we wanted it to do. Each one is a massive challenge.
So, as we hurtle towards superintelligence, what's the human response? How do we stay relevant in a world where we might not be the smartest beings anymore? Well, the answer sounds like it's pulled straight from science fiction, but the research is very, very real.
And this forces us to ask a really profound, maybe even unsettling question about our own future. If we're no longer at the top of the intellectual food chain, what's our purpose? What's our role in the universe? One potential answer might be to just erase the line between human and machine. It's this concept called neuromorphic convergence. The basic idea is to physically merge our own biological brains with synthetic AI through super advanced brain-computer interfaces. It's the ultimate, if you can't beat him, join him strategy. But as you can imagine, this fusion of mind and machine opens up a whole new ethical minefield. I mean, think about it. If your thoughts are stored on a cloud server, who owns them? If a human-AI hybrid makes a terrible mistake, who's at fault? And maybe, most terrifying of all, how do we protect our own sense of self, our own free will, when part of our brain is literally a machine?
All of this
The end of scaling, the rise of reasoning AI, the possibility of merging with it, it forces us to completely rethink our place in the cosmos. Our value as a species can't just be about being the smartest anymore.
We might be heading into an age where our main job isn't to be the smartest, but to be the wisest. Our role could shift from being the creators of intelligence to being its curators, the guardians of values, of consciousness, of meaning, in a world that we share with a totally new kind of mind.
And that really leaves us with this one final, massive question to think about. This isn't just about technology anymore. It's a question that cuts right to the heart of our own identity. If you're as fascinated and maybe a little terrified by these questions as we are, make sure to like and share this explainer. And I really want to know, what do you think about all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.